first off, introduce yourself to the world.
My name's Suli. I'm a spoken word poetry artist. Hey, that's about it.
How long have you been immersed in poetry, and who influenced you growing up?
I've been writing my whole life. I've always been a writer, whether it was stories, raps, songs, poems, scripts, everything. I've been a writer. I've always been a writer. I've always been immersed in books. I like reading. I like words. I've always had that relationship with words. When I was growing up, my influence was, I didn't listen to poetry. Strange, I didn't listen to poetry. My influence was a lot of UK artists. Not a lot of, I primarily started listening to American artists, the obvious Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Tupac, and that's my first kind of introduction into the rhyming world, the sort of art. Eminem, everyone listened to Eminem. I listened to Eminem before I even listened to hip hop. Like really, I used to listen to hip hop obviously, but Eminem was like, have the cassette player, I'ma kill you. Yeah, it's kind of all about that, I guess.
I am a big UK hip hop fan, and I noticed that you're from London and that you perform with some of UK's finest. How are these relationships forged?
UK's finest, who's this? No, I'm joking. I guess it's a kind of the sense that people that are talented, not even so much talented, people that are hardworking sort of migrate towards each other. So it's you get that circumstance where if you're a hard worker, someone else is a hard worker, you tend to collaborate because both of you want to excel and go further. Real recognize real, birds of a feather flock together.
Actions speak louder, and On the Rock are unique because you use your hands as props. Your take on familiar concepts are strengthened due to your use of body language. What made you incorporate the use of hand signals in your poetry videos?
Yeah, a lot of people like those pieces. I've never been the kind of guy who just sits down and watches someone performing poetry. Like, I've never had that. I've never had a complete inkling to kind of do that. So I thought, I'm gonna come on this and perform in front of people. Like, I'm gonna have to make it a little bit interesting because I wouldn't watch it myself, you know. And that's where the visual aspects started coming in. I mean, maybe that's where the actions speak louder than words started coming in, with the actions, with the words on the rock, with the props. It all comes from just the urge to make each piece different from the next one, I guess. And that's how they kind of translated onto YouTube, I guess.
You have had the opportunity to grace over 40 universities in the UK. Describe the feeling you get when you're in front of a crowd sharing your art of expression.
It's not so much, you normally remember going on stage and coming off. Like, in between, the rest is just autopilot. Like, once you get on the stage, you kind of transform into Suli Breaks and you kind of perform. But it's immense when the crowd are reacting to certain stuff that you're saying. Sometimes you get a massive reaction and you kind of just feed off that energy. A lot of people like, I'm not doing it. It's all like, it's a gift, it's a grace of God that's doing it. But yeah, I just appreciate the fact that people can come up and be like, wow, that touched me, you did this, you did that. It's nice. It's hard to not let it get to your head at times though. That's one thing everyone needs to work on, not letting it get to their head.
What are you currently working on, and do you have plans to do a couple of shows in America?
R.I.P video, that's been something I've been meaning to do for a long time. That's how I envisioned it when I first started. So it's amazing that I was able to get together with Global Faction. We tossed around ideas and we were able to come up with that product. And that was exactly how I wanted it, exactly how I envisioned it. And so it's just from there, we've set that kind of standard. And we're going to keep on trying to raise it and raise it and raise it. Much of that stuff for the same quality. And it should climax at another DVD later on this year. I haven't set a date on it yet because we're still working on the project, seeing the response it gets and where we carry on moving from. In terms of America, I've got my eye on America. So quite a few people from America be messaging me, telling me this and that. Like, I like your stuff. It's nice to know that your stuff can translate to other people. Like, I have an accent. I talk to some Americans like on Skype or whatever, and they laugh at the way I speak. So it's nice to know that despite that barrier, which is not so much a barrier because we speak the same language, they can still relate to what you're saying. Any promoters in America watching this, let me know. That's one of my goals. I want to be out in America. I'll be nervous as hell, but I want to be out there in front of the crowd in America and like doing my thing, I guess, innit?
The video for R.I.P is put together very well, and it incorporates the use of acronyms. As an MC, I have always appreciated the creative side of writing. Describe the writing process for your poetry. Is it complex?
In terms of R.I.P, the thought process behind that, it's all just comes down to that. Me just wanted to do something different. I don't know, R.I.P, rest in peace. Then I just kind of vibed from there. My thought process is it's based on that light bulb, or that mainly that thunder strike. Like, you know, when you get that light bulb ping, you get that idea, and then you just keep it rolling from there. It's quite like, so you see something happen, someone will say that, and you be like, yeah, that's quite cool. Or someone will make a joke, and you be like, yeah, that's a good point. And then it's all about putting forward points or things that people can relate to. If you can relate to it, I feel someone else can always relate to it. So that's where that kind of writing process comes through. When I start to write, I'll be like, okay, this is like this, but could I say it like this? Could I say it like that? It's all just challenging myself to do something different. It's really crazy, really. There's also another side to the writing, which is more expressive, but there's times where you just have, it sounds so corny, but you have a lot of things on your head and you just want to kind of get them all out at once. And there's that aspect, I guess.
Poetry for you is?
Poetry for Suli Breaks is a challenge. Like, I see it as, I want to challenge myself to write something like this or write something like that. Can I make the words do what I want to do? It's also, there's that term where it's a medium, it's an expressive medium. Like, I want people to know while going over here, what's going on here, what's going on there, and what's happening in this situation. I translate it through poetry.
How can the masses stay connected with you?
Yes, there's Facebook, Twitter, my Twitter, there's my website, Suli Breaks. There's also, I didn't even promote my DVD. My DVD Poetry is Cool. That came out earlier this year. And you can also purchase it at the website www.sulibreaks.com. Whether you're in America, we even got orders from Australia. So if anyone, whether you're in America, anywhere, we'll get it to you. Make sure you purchase that. But aside from that, stay in contact with me with Twitter. Mainly, I'm always on the Twitter. Twitter's nice. Twitter.com/SuliBreaks. I'm always on the Twitter. So just hit me up, I'll hit you up back. Aside from that, make sure you check out my guy Preverb. Check out his blog, preverb.net. And that's pretty much it. Suli Breaks. I've been talking way too much. Over and out. Peace.